You want to make sure that that is a company that you can see yourself, not just in a job, not just fulfilling a slot, but it is a company where you can grow, where you can thrive, and where you're going to be better. That's one of the things that we really pride ourselves in here at BTI360, is that you're an engineer today. If you come here, you're going to be a better engineer. And guess what? Not only are you going to be a better engineer, but you're going to work better with your teammates.
Welcome to Security Cleared Jobs, Who's Hiring and How, the podcast for cleared professionals looking for new opportunities and career advice. We go behind the scenes with recruiters and hiring managers from leading cleared employers to uncover the information you need to make a smart career move. Get ready for insights from this week's guest and your hosts, Kathleen Smith and Rachel Bozeman.
Well, hello everyone. This voice is that of Rachel, and I am so glad to be here today, and even more delighted to be joined by some of ClearedJobs.Net, dare I say, secret sauce, the one and only Mr. Bob Wheeler. What's going on with you today, Bob?
Hey, not a whole lot, Rachel. It's great to be here. Just another day trying to connect job seekers to great cleared opportunities.
That is a pretty noble mission, and I appreciate all that you do, Bob. You're pretty fantastic. And somebody else who is fantastic is our guest today, who is also the one and only Dorion Baker. Dorion, you may remember the name. We go way back, don't we, Dorion? Like show 79, like old, like we know each other for a while. But he's joining us again, and he is with BTI360, where he is the senior director. So welcome back, Dorion.
Thank you. So excited to be joining you too. And yes, we go way back. So I must have started this when I was like 12 or something.
Absolutely. I mean, you haven't aged a day since show 79. But Dorion, it's a new year, new organization. So for the sake of all of our listeners out there, do you mind telling us just a little bit about your background and your new life there at BTI 360?
Yes. So as you mentioned, I have been in the talent acquisition, recruiting field for many years now. And most of my experience has been in the Intel community and DoD GovCon space. I am excited to now be with my new company here, going on a year with BTI 360.
So why does having talent acquisition under HR versus that business development, why does that matter? And what's been that big change for you over at BTI 360?
Yeah, so I have recently moved into beyond just talent acquisition to oversee our teammate operations, which for BTI 360 is our human resources department. So for HR versus business development, it definitely matters, because talent acquisition is traditionally about simply convincing people to leave their current place of employment to join you where you are. And that's great. And I've really loved to do that over the past several years. But at some point, it feels a little empty when you have little impact on how your teammates will do once they come on board, and the success, the well-being of your teammates, the onboarding experience, and the full life cycle of a teammate from the time that they are hired to the time they retire. So when you have TA working together with HR, again, here we call it teammate operations, but when you have TA working together with our teammate operations, it's such a great harmony that supports the success and the livelihood of our teammates. It's not just simply about hiring or filling a spot on a contract. It is making sure that we find opportunities where our teammates can truly see their potential unlocked, and beyond just coming into a role or to a job, but really a career where they can grow and learn and help to develop others. And so there's a big difference between that business development mindset of, hey, we just want to grow and build, and focusing on how can we build and grow our people.
Obviously, you're talking about things like putting the right person at the right job. You mentioned things like career, stuff like that. BTI 360, let's talk a little bit about BTI 360 and what it is the organization does. You mentioned something about like a pure play software type company. I mean, what does that mean, and how does that fit into the cleared space?
Yes. So software development is what we do. That's really who we are. We develop software fast. There are many companies in our space and GovCon and the Intel community space that have software developer openings. They have jobs, they have slots on a contract, and that's great. We have that too. But we are a pure play software development company. We develop software, we grow our engineers. We have training and we have internal onboarding and classes for our teammates through our boot camp classes, such as our clean code and our secure code, to make sure that our engineers are not just good engineers, but some of the best in our business. And so when a software engineer or a developer is looking for a company where they can count on the talent around them to know that they're working with some of the best in the business that are coding well, that work well. This is a great place for a software developer to join. And not only that, but while it is good to have a great software engineer who knows how to code and who is really smart in their tech stack, but you want to have software developers that work well together. So we go beyond just developing the skill, but how can we make sure that our engineers work well together, that they are leaders who lead with humility, that they collaborate with others. And so that's been really important for us is that when you work with someone from BTI 360, or as we say, who's wearing orange, then you know that you're working with not only a very talented, competent engineer, but someone that you're going to enjoy working with.
I love it. And I think orange looks great on everyone.
Yeah.
So you did mention a lot about the software developers or engineers that you're currently hiring for, but are there other skill sets that you're also looking to bring into the family and get in orange?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we want to get orange everywhere. So, yes, we have a number of positions that are working together with our engineers, our technical delivery managers, our ISIs, our information security system engineers. We also have other opportunities in system engineering and cloud architecture beyond just the software development. So, we have a number of skills and skill sets that we're hiring for. And what is really hot for us right now, where we have a lot of opportunities for machine learning, for ML engineers and AI. We are very much in the Gen AI space and are working with our customers in that area. So this is a skill set for us that we are always hiring for.
So a lot of great opportunities, but I'm going to ask, where are these positions located?
We do have opportunities beyond Virginia where we are growing, but by and large, the majority of our positions are located in Virginia or in the greater DC metropolitan area. We have some opportunities in the Maryland area as well. So, yeah, all of our work is primarily Northern Virginia, the Dulles, Chantilly, McLean, Tysons, Herndon, Reston areas.
Makes a lot of sense. As a matter of fact, Dorian, last time I saw you, we were at a job fair there in Dulles.
Yeah.
Now, one of the topics that's coming up around the government contracting space is like on-site work versus remote work. I know it's a big topic. You have a Transformers reference, I guess, that kind of goes with your idea for on-site work. Can you break that down for us? What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Yeah. So the conversation we had was around the demand for hybrid work or work that's remote. And certainly we hear that a lot from candidates. We understand that. And we do have some work that is hybrid. We have work where some of our teams are in the office 2 to 3 days per week, and they're able to work remotely those other 2 to 3 days per week. But by and large, we are an in-person culture here at BTI 360. And it's not in person just for the sake of FaceTime, but we do believe that we are better together, not only virtually or over the phone or like we are now having this conversation. But I think the reference I might have used was Voltron, so maybe a little bit older than Transformers, actually. That when we come together, we're able to do amazing things, and we really do thrive on that. And we have been able to develop a team where we enjoy each other. We really do. It's very much like a family atmosphere. We get to know one another on a first name basis, and working together, we much like Green Lion, Red Lion, Yellow Lion, all coming together as Voltron. We're able to do amazing things.
I like it.
As long as you don't bring in the cowardly lion, we should be good, right? Absolutely. So many of our listeners, an important part of considering a career is really understanding that company culture and how they would thrive in that type of environment. So, in doing a little sleuthing into your organization, we came across one of your core values, which is grow each day. And there's a real focus on that continued learning mindset, if you will. So, talk to us a little bit more about what that means and what's in it for your employees.
The teammates that do really well at BTI 360, and for those who are considering us, are those who have technical curiosity, that you are interested in how things work, why they work the way that they do. And even our interview process is set up as such where it's not so much about you getting the answers, right? But how you arrive at those answers and working to solve problems. So in our teams, we do emphasize, we support, we encourage all of our teammates to grow each day, finding opportunities where you can both grow and develop, and even helping others on your team to grow. So we have, as I mentioned earlier, our own boot camp classes that we have developed for coding, for clean code, for secure code. But beyond that, we also have a boot camp class for collaboration 101 because we want our engineers to be engineers that people enjoy working with. So understanding the importance of collaboration. We have our own leadership academy. Our teammates, while they may be in individual contributor roles, we consider all of our teammates to be leaders, and we emphasize leading with humility. So we have those boot camp classes. And then beyond that, we have conferences. Several dozen of our teammates just got back from reInvent in Las Vegas. So we have conferences that we attend both throughout the US and then some local conferences, and we host our own as well. So for us, growing each day is a critical core value for us, is that technical curiosity. You want to develop, you want to learn, you want to get better and help others grow.
So, how do you identify a candidate that's going to be a good fit for that thrive and succeed? And by the same token, if I'm the kind of candidate who does, like, how would I express that to you to make that connection that I'm going to be a good fit?
We really see it show up in a couple of ways. One, in which that they have interest beyond their 9 to 5 job and being able to develop and grow, whether it's a graduate program, certification course. They may volunteer or be a part of other groups where they get to network and learn and grow more. So we see that beyond just the 9 to 5 of the job, there's a desire, there's an appetite to learn, and they will seek out those opportunities. And also, you'll see it show up in discussion when we interview with candidates based on how they engage their team or their mentors, what they learned, what they didn't learn, what they would change, how they handled those situations, to really tap into that technical curiosity and see that they are the type of candidate that would thrive here.
Great information for folks that might be thinking about trying to engage BTI 360, Dory. That's some good stuff right there.
Absolutely. And so I have a twofer here. So I know that y'all do a lot of great things when it comes to really making sure people know who the organization is, but you also have really great ways of allowing people the ability to grow within the organization that we've spent some time talking about. So my twofer, here it comes. I know that y'all participate in some different like community engagement activities that introduce people into the organization and really tell the story of BTI 360, but also you have an internship program. So if you don't mind telling me a little bit more about those community engagement activities that introduce folks to the organization, but also your internship program that gives folks the ability to come in and learn in a great, safe place.
Oh, yeah. Man, I love to talk about what we do in the community. So much of what BTI 360 does with the community is not publicly advertised, and that's intentional as well. One of our segments here, like in any company, you have segments like business development, contracts, finance, accounting. We actually have a segment dedicated to serving, and we do serving both here locally in our local community. We do it abroad as well. But in addition to that serving, our community engagement, we host various groups here in our facilities here in the Herndon, Virginia area. And one of those is our monthly Code and Coffee. So Code and Coffee is much like it sounds. There's coffee and there's coding, but beyond that, there's an opportunity for people to network and learn. There are people of all walks of life that are looking to break into this field, and they don't know what that first step might look like. So Code and Coffee is great exposure for them, networking. They learn new skills and technology, and we're so honored and glad to host that each month here at BTI 360. So each Saturday we have our Code and Coffee, and then we host a DC Jug Java users group here monthly as well, which is a similar networking event, really focused in on Java. So that's a great opportunity for people to come. When you come into our building, you get to kind of feel the vibe and what it's like to be a part of BTI 360, and even just seeing what our space looks like. The college hire program, I could talk about that all day. It is one of the most successful programs that we have in onboarding new teammates into the company. We're continuing to grow our college hire program. We identify rising juniors each year to bring into our summer internship, which is a 12-week program where they're doing real work. They have a project that they are participating in, and they present to the entire company at the end of the summer. And the demand has been huge. The applicants were through the roof for this coming summer intern, and we've already wrapped up that program. So our college hire program really sets up interns for success, because once you complete the summer internship, we put our interns in for a security clearance. And when they graduate from college, they already have their job lined up for them to come on board with BTI 360 as a full-time teammate on one of our teams. So it's truly one of the best things happening at BTI 360 is our college hire program.
I love hearing those kind of stories. I love hearing companies that are developing that future workforce. But let's say that you're somebody who's more established and they're interested in BTI 360. They're more of a middle to senior person. What does that hiring process look like? Or is it single interviews, multiple interviews, technical interviews? Does it depend on the position?
Yeah, so slightly different for a entry level or a junior or college hire candidate, but for our college hires or junior level opportunities, there's typically a test format that the candidate would complete, like a hacker rank test that they would complete prior to entering into the more formal screening process with our engineers, which may initially be a phone discussion and then in person. For the senior engineers, usually it would start with either a phone or in person. The in person interview consists of a technical interview where you sit down with our engineers and have a conversation about your background, about your experience, about some of the engineering practices and principles that you have an understanding of. And then after that, there is a paired programming exercise, which might sound intimidating, but is actually very collaborative, where you as the candidate are paired up with our engineers to solve problems. And it's really more about how you go about solving problems than just getting the right answer. And for our engineers to be able to gauge what level of engineer you might be here at BTI 360. So there's a paired programming exercise. And then finally, there's usually a meeting with one of our other teammates just to talk about our values and our culture and making sure that there's an alignment with you and our values. As we already talked through some of them: lead with humility, grow each day, and do the right thing. Those are critical for us to make sure that we continue with this great culture that we have at BTI 360.
That's good stuff. And, obviously when you have that many steps in the process, that's what enables you to have such a great culture and keep that great culture, because you guys are obviously finding the folks that are going to be the best fit.
And I love seeing, pay now or pay later. It's always great to pay up front and make sure you're operating from transparency and clarity and really giving that great experience. So thank you. Thank you for representing the community so well. And since you have so much great experience, Dorion, yes, I'm going to ask because, again, new year. Why not? Why not ask for more information? But I would love to hear maybe about some of the recommendations that you would have for cleared professionals as they're in this brave new world and out there in the job search. Is there any tips or tricks or recommendations that you can give to our friends?
Oh, yeah. First and foremost, as long as I've been doing this, I always recommend candidates do what's best for you. Make sure that the place where you decide to pursue or to go work, that it is in alignment with what is important to you. Most important. I like to point out what are the three things that are important, and then what is the most important. And if you can check those boxes, then you're at least on your way to identifying the right fit. But you want to make sure that that is a company that you can see yourself, not just in a job, not just fulfilling a slot, but it is a company where you can grow, where you can thrive, and where you're going to be better. That's one of the things that we really pride ourselves in here at BTI360, is that you're an engineer today. If you come here, you're going to be a better engineer. And guess what? Not only are you going to be a better engineer, but you're going to work better with your teammates. You're going to be more collaborative. You're going to understand how to clear issues and resolve conflict, and not just allow issues to continue to fester, but to be a good teammate. And so that is something that you want to look for in a company as a candidate. And then the other recommendation I would have is to recognize that you are one person away from that great opportunity. It's one person away. It's not usually a click of a mouse or a button or a application to a job. Sometimes, yes, it starts there. And there's nothing wrong with applying to a job. But I hear feedback all the time from candidates that are looking that say, I applied to so many jobs, didn't hear back. You're usually one person away from that opportunity that you're looking for. I know in my own personal career, that has been the case. So I would strongly recommend for cleared professionals, just like any others, to network, to get to know people, to stay connected with alumni, past coworkers and friends, because it's usually one person away from that great opportunity that you're looking for.
And Dory, like I mentioned before, last time I saw you was at one of the job fairs we did, and I saw you and I saw your team, and you guys really do a great job of connecting with people. You're talking to folks, people got great responses. So is there a good way for somebody who's a listener, because we're not at a job fair now, is there a good way for listeners out there that they can get in touch with you and or your teams?
Absolutely. So you can check out our career site, BTI360.com, and then you click on careers. There you'll see all of the opportunities that we are hiring for. To follow us, we have quite a following on LinkedIn. We post a lot of content there on LinkedIn. You can see the culture that we have here at BTI360, get a sense of who we are, what we're about, and what we celebrate. And then 3, we mentioned it earlier, we host community events here at our office in Herndon. We're near Worldgate. We would love to have you stop by, check us out. Our coding coffees once a month on Saturday mornings, or DC Java Users Group, or any other opportunities that we have. We welcome you to come. Certainly connect with our recruiters. We have some rock star recruiters here. You can find them on LinkedIn as well. So we welcome that and look forward to you staying in touch with us.
Well, it was fantastic catching up with you again, learning even more about BTI 360, hearing all about that you're accomplishing in this brave new world, brave new year. Thanks for being with us. Always a pleasure. Till next time.
Bye. Thank you.
Well, that was fun. And it was so great hearing all about BTI 360. I just really, really appreciated the community engagement and involvement, not just to give back to the communities in which they live and work, but also to give people a real sense of the culture that exists at BTI 360, doing the coffee chats and all of the different ways that they're connecting with the folks. It was just exciting to hear. I don't know about you, Bob. What'd you love?
Man, you know what, Rachel? I love a lot about BTI 360, but I really, at the last moment, the notes I took down were his advice to job seekers that your next job could just be one person away. And I thought when he talked about networking, and he even brought some specifics up you don't hear too often, keeping up with your former other employees at other businesses, going out there and attending events like his coffee and coding thing, and just going out and meeting people. But that idea of being one person away and keeping that networking out, I think that was so great, and he gave us a lot of great stuff. But in the end, that was the one thing I circled the biggest.
It was. It sure was a good time. And you know what? You're the best listeners we could ask for, because you, my friends, stuck with us till the very end. So what would make you even a better listener is if you went out there and followed our podcast, told a couple friends about it, make sure everyone hears all of the goodness. Till next time. Bye-bye.